Coach.
Hey,
Hey. How was your New Year's?
it was good. We was in the
Yeah.
gym, so
Y'all
normal
had
thing.
practice this morning? Ooh.
Yes, and last night, yeah. hmm
So it was good?
It was. It was good. It was good.
A lot of running?
Yep. Got to get that Christmas up off of us. Got to get that Christmas up off of us.
Okay. I guess kind of introduce yourself, and then we can kind of go from there.
I got you. Well, my name is Chelsea Hudson. I'm the head women's basketball coach at Panola College in Carthage, Texas. We compete in Region 14, the best region hands down
The
in the
best.
land. I'm gonna say it. Shout out to all my counterparts in Region 14. My 10th year coaching, 6th year in junior college, 6th year in this conference. I've had stints at the D1 level and high school, both in Tennessee and Texas, and so I just love it.
Yeah.
Love the game, and here we are.
Got it. So, what do you love most about being in the Juco space right now?
The relationships. I think I'm from Midland, Texas originally, so I grew up around the junior college world in Region 5.
Okay.
My since I was 6 years old, and so to be able to change the thought process behind junior college is probably first on the list. I would definitely say, growing up, JUCO was for bad attitudes, bad grades, all of that type of stuff, where I actually have really great kids. I have kids that maintain a 4.0. I have kids that can go to the Power 5 level. I've coached against kids that played at all levels. And so I just love that it's getting the honor and respect that it deserves. And so I can appreciate that for sure.
Got
Hey,
it.
BK.
How you doing?
What up?
Good evening.
You good?
What's up?
Okay, there you go. There you go. Oh man. So Chelsea was kind of
Chelsea, Brittany, what's going on?
Not too much.
Hey,
Do it.
nothing at all.
listen.
I'm good.
We outside tonight.
Yeah.
So Chelsea was kind of like introducing herself and just kind of mentioning what she liked about JUCO space right now. So y'all can kind of go whoever want to go next, and then we can just kind of get into it.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm Brittany Christian, but I go by BC. I'm the head coach at Paris Junior College, and the thing that I love about the JUCO space right now, it just overall, but I like the way that we really get to be hands on with our student athletes. Again, we have smaller staffs. We don't have the 4 coaches and dobos and all that other stuff. So we do a lot of work, but we also having a smaller staff. We get to be more intimate, more in tune with our kids. I get to be on the floor doing skill development with my kids where a lot of head coaches wouldn't get to do that. So I like that we get to really be hands on and kind of really be on the ground level of developing these kids in the early stages of their college career. And not just on the floor, getting them into internships, helping them figure out what their major is going to be, where they want to go from here. We kind of have the ground floor with them. They get to college and they may not necessarily have it all figured out.
Right.
To help them figure it out. And then it's like the gift and the curse of JUCO. By the time you get that kid right where you want him to be,
yeah,
they put the door on you.
Got
But so you turn on ESPN Plus or you pull up a live stream and you see your baby right there, it out and flourishing, and then next step, and you know that you played just a small part in that. So that's the part that I love about JUCO right now.
Gotcha. Thomas.
I'm Candace Thomas. I'm the head coach at McLennan College. I'm starting my 2nd year as the head coach. And I think kind of really to piggyback a lot off of what Brittany said, I think JUCO gives you an opportunity to build the relationship part. That's what I love about JUCO. Because you get these kids coming in here and their goal is to get to the next level, and you get to build that relationship on the floor, off the floor, and just be like really you're the coach, but you're also the mentor as well. In all of the hats that we wear, like Brittany said, we don't have a huge staff. And so we have to pull and do this and be a counselor, be a mom, be an auntie, be a coach, But I think the good part of that is within that the relationship you get to actually build. And so that's what I truly love about it. And these kids are hungry. JUCO kids are hungry to get to the next level. They're competitive. They play with a chip on their shoulder, and then they have something to prove. You know. And JUCO basketball has changed from the sense of why people go JUCO now.
Correct.
You know, like it used to be. It could be for grades, or it
Right.
could be for, you know, just different things like that. But now you get real talented players that go the JUCO route. And I think that's why the last few years it's been super competitive. And not that it hadn't before, but even now, you know, it's truly competitive. So I think that's what I love about it.
Got you. So Brittany, you said something about the building a relationship, building that player up, and then they gone. Like, talk about that aspect of like really kind of pouring everything that you got into a kid and they gone. Like you don't get them for 4 years. You probably get them for 1 year. You may get them for 2 years. So just kind of talk about the aspect from y'all different points of views of like it's a love hate thing, you know, because like y'all want to win at the end of the day. So
yeah, and like I said, it's the gift and the curse, because you know we get those kids and mostly freshmen and sophomores. So they're just learning. You know, they have to make that transition from high school to college, and they have to make that transition. One of the big differences, especially in the state of Texas, is playing with the shot clock. You know, pace. You know, so you kind of guide those kids through those steps. You guide them through understanding maybe a more intricate offense or more detail oriented defense than they may have had to play in high school. And you work through those things they learn on the floor, they learn in practice, and then again, once you do the job right, you know, a lot of our kids are going off and they're going to their next best opportunity. And again, it makes it challenging on our end with the program sustainability, but it's helpful on our end with program sustainability too, because when you prove that you can develop kids and get to where they want to go, and they see that those kids are getting to the next place, it garners more interest for the good players to want to come into your program. Right. So even though it's tough a little bit, once your kids are like, you know, going and signing and, you know, it's going to draw more attention into your program anyway. So it's a double-edged sword. Now you have to start all over with the teaching and getting that new kid to understand your philosophy and, you know, get them disciplined and all that other stuff. But you do get to maintain a certain level of talent, you know, like once you kind of get that foundation set and the expectation set, like coaches and recruits know what the expectation is coming into your program, because they know that they have to come in, but they also have to like reach a certain level to be able to get out.
Gotcha. Anybody else got something to add on that?
I would definitely just add, I think we look at the players of JUCO a lot, but we really don't give, and I'm biased again, I'm sitting on this with two of my friends in the business, people I truly consider friends. Me and Candace started as assistants together, BC started D1. It's like to be able to create a team that has buy-in, kids that have to buy in quickly. You know, we may not have all the resources, we may not have all of the hands to be able to get those kids to compete at a different level. I don't think there's enough pub on just how amazing these coaches are. My thing is, I think a lot of people can coach NCAA when you got 20 people helping you out, managers and all of this. But when I'm up here icing my kneecaps because you got to jump in practice, you know, we're closed right now. Our practice players aren't here. So I don't think there's enough. I'm not going to say it's not enough, but I definitely want to give flowers to all the junior college coaches that are pouring the seeds or planting the seeds, and then we see them later. Like, all the kids call us back, like, Coach, you told me I need to jump to the ball, Coach, you know, but now I'm doing it, Coach. And it's like, girl, I wish you would have done that here, baby. What are you doing? You know, like, I don't think there's enough focus too, not only just on the kids, but coaching. There are amazing coaches at this level that get kids. And we know this generation is just a little different than whenever, you know, we were in school. I'm aging myself. I ain't that old, but I just think that we got to give our flowers to some amazing coaches that really come in. I think the D1 level is seeing it with the transfer portal. That's what JUCO is. We get the kids, we have them for 8 months and they're gone. 8 months, 16 months, you're out of there. You got to create magic really fast in order to be successful, because we all do want to win championships and be successful, on top of getting our kids to get to that next level. So shout out to Flowers, to all of the coaches at this level, on top of the kids that we just pour into daily, for sure.
Gotcha. What do you think the hardest transition is from high school to college in general, and then just being able to from high school to a junior college?
Um, I think for the players that I have uh, been blessed to be able to coach, I think is the intensity, the sense of urgency. You know, like you recruit some really really talented players, but now when you get here, they're all talented. You know, you're not the best player on the team, you're not the best player on the floor, and it's your motor, your work ethic. You know, I think that is the difference. And just trying to get my players to be consistent with that. Um, and then when they get there, it's like, okay, now you have a next level that you also then have to get to, because we understand what your goals are beyond here. And so when you get to this level, there's some ballers, there's some hoopers on the JUCO level. And I think just separating yourself has to be that consistent work ethic, that motor, for the players that I've been blessed to be able to coach, for sure.
Yeah, I think Candace hit that on the head.
Perfect.
Like, it's one of the first conversations that we have with recruits, but even with our players, is like, most of the time in high school, unless you have like that really loaded roster, you got like maybe 2 really good players on the team.
Right.
So if you're really good, you stand out, you're special. When you get to college, like, that thing doesn't make you special anymore.
Right.
Like, everybody can hoop in college. So
Yep.
you walk in the gym, you can knock down some shots, you grab a couple rebounds, get some steals. Okay, everybody else does. And a lot of kids have trouble wrapping their mind around that. Like, oh, I'm not special because I can knock down shots. So can she, and she play defense. You don't. Like,
No, for real.
Yes, for real. That is the perfect way to say that.
and like it's a different transition for kids, because it's like the thing that you're so used to having set you apart doesn't set you apart anymore, and now you almost have to rediscover yourself, and you have to rediscover your game and figure out how you're going to be impactful at this level. And then I think the second thing too is like the attention to detail. Like, once everybody can hoop, I say inches and angles. Like, 1 inch off of a rotation, 1 wrong angle on a closeout, and it blows up the possession for everybody, for the entire team. So that attention to detail is something that kids have to lock into differently when they get from high school to college as well. Those scout days, those game prep days, that day where we breaking down that defense, and that it drives them kids through the floor sometimes. Finish. But that attention to detail, that inch or that angle, is the difference between winning and losing a game most nights.
Yep.
Got you. Coach Ed, I think you talked about like the transfer portal, just being able to flip kids, basically. Just talk about that space. Like, do y'all buy it? Like, do y'all do a lot of transfers, or do y'all kind of really just buy into the high school kids?
Entering my 3rd year, 6 years here, I've seen transfers, whether it's in our league or on our team, where I've also seen just a lot of high schools. Again, I think the transfer portal has opened up a floodgate that all these kids are kind of going through the same things. It's just my kids might play 30 minutes a game and be ready to transfer, whereas, at a 4-year, you're playing 4 or 5 minutes a game with no stats, sitting on the bench, and then still transferring. I think the portal creates even more urgency. I definitely agree with that, but I mean, it affects us. We see transfers, but I see a lot more high school kids that are looking, like my counterpart said, they are looking to come here, and you're going through the process all over again. When I talk to my kids about recruiting, you're competing against internationals, high school kids, now these kids that can get a whole nother year. So these super seniors, you're competing against a lot of different entities, then in high school you were just kind of competing against kind of 2. And I think at this level, the quick buy-in, like you said, you got to be attention to details. Your grades have to matter. Why would I take you and this same kid at a 4-year are doing the exact same thing, but you got a 2.0 and she got a 3.5. Who are they going to take? You
Right.
know, little things, even in the details on the floor, the details off the floor matters. What kind of habits are you building? Can you push yourself? Because as a Juco transfer, when you get to a 4-year, they're not going to give you as much leniency as they might a freshman transfer from a 4-year. You're a junior coming in. Some of
Right.
us, you know, if you have freshman qualifiers, you got to learn a new system. That's it. You should know how to lift weights. You should know how to dive on the floor. You should know how to build yourself. You should have time management off the floor, academics, be able to handle certain things. And I think that's something that also we prepare our kids for. I'm not going to say better. I won't say that and get into any arguments, but I definitely think we do a good job of preparing our kids for the next level outside of the transfer portal.
Gotcha. Anybody else got something to say about that?
I don't think so. Since the transfer portal, where now kids can go from D1 to D1 and play right away, I think we don't see as much D1 transfers now in our league.
Got
Because now they can go play. Like in the past, you know, you wanted to go JUCO because you didn't want to sit out a whole year. And so, like Chelsea said, now you're seeing, well, we're competing with, you got 9 freshmen on your team now. You got 10 freshmen on your team. But like, you know, in the past, it's never been like that. So you don't really see much. I know last year I had 2 D1 transfers last year. And then maybe played against maybe 1 or 2. So it wasn't really that much.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna read this question. It says, "What would you say is the biggest difference between going straight into the NCAA's of a 4-year out of high school versus a 2-year experience at a high level experience?"
I would say the major thing, especially for freshmen, is more often than not, freshmen are going to play more JUCO than they will at the 4-year level. Again, at the 4-year level, there are juniors and seniors. There are people that may have been in that program 2-3 years ahead of you that know what's going on, that, you know, that's well ingrained, that's going to get their reps. And that's not to say that freshmen can't learn and freshmen can't grow there, but you see the evidence with the transfer portal, and you see the evidence with how our kids get recruited. Ultimately, games experience is king. You know, your stats, your numbers, your proven production weighs a little bit differently versus, okay, well, you know, we had this kid that may be ready come next season, but she maybe didn't, you know, she didn't show this year because we had so and so playing ahead of her. I think that's like the biggest difference. I think that and also, I mean, there's other stuff outside of the basketball. Typically, a JUCO is a smaller campus.
Yep.
It's a more tight-knit community. It's more hands-on. So you may have, you know, instead of a freshman sitting in a lecture hall of 300 people, you may have a class with 50 people. The professors are going to know your kids by name.
Yeah.
I get text messages from our professors like, hey, we got a test and so is 10 minutes late to class. Hey, professor, don't worry about it. I'm going to get her. You know, like she can get in a minute. You don't really necessarily get that at that, you know, at a larger scale university, all through and through. So again, it's a different level of kind of like accountability, but a different level of care as well. And sometimes some kids need that transition. If you've lived at home your entire life and you've never been on your own, you've never had to do all by yourself.
Yep.
There's a such thing as too much freedom, and there's a such thing as, you know, like, oh, well, I only have 2 classes today. You know, it's easy to not go to them 2 classes if you get on campus, if you get caught up in the student union. You know, JUCO just kind of provides a smaller environment, a more controlled environment, and in a lot of ways to help those kids make a more successful transition. And not for nothing, you know, a lot of kids that go into the portal are kids that were not successful at the schools that they went to for whatever reason. It could have been basketball, it could have been academically, it could have been socially. They didn't manage, you know, that environment. It wasn't a great environment for them. But, you know, why make that mistake at that high level, or why go through that experience at that high level when you have, you know, possibly a good opportunity to kind of control your transition a little bit?
I would also piggyback too. There are also levels in junior college.
Yep.
Again, I'm biased. I'm going to rep my reason to the death of me. You can take the top 2 kids out of every single kid or team in our league, and they're going to compete at the high level. If you track our recruitment as a region, they're going, quote unquote, high level.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's the other thing for junior college. But again, it is no different than NCAA D1, D2. There are levels to junior college. I like to say we are the best ones. So again,
Yeah.
for 14 games a night, 14 games a night, my kids are competing at the highest level. You are game management. You are, hey Steph, you are, you gotta we going down to the wire. You got overtime games, you got foul trouble, you got heightened environments where we going in and the football team going crazy on you. I believe that again, Region 14 is a high level, preparing them in experience where sometimes at the 4 year you're going there and you're sitting at the end of the bench twirling the towel, whereas you are in the nitty gritty at the junior college level. You are competing every night at a high level, and I think that experience is one of the main differences between junior college and possibly going 4 year. It is all up to, in the eyes of the beholder. Whatever the kid is, it's going to be up to the kid. But again, as a freshman going to a 4 year, your kid, you might be third string point guard because you're playing behind a junior and a senior.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas here, baby, you coming in playing starting August. Region 14, we got practice towards September. You
Yeah.
need to get right immediately. We don't got time for you to be waiting. I tell my kids now, we just got back. You're not a freshman anymore. I don't have any freshmen on my team anymore. You're no longer a freshman. We're about to start conference January 11th. And I think the experience of competing at a high level is really what's preparing them to then be even more successful at the 4 year level, for sure.
Gotcha. I think y'all kind of answered this question. It says, how do you support your athletes academically and athletic growth with the limited resources of Juco compared to D1 schools? So I think I kind of answered that a little bit. If y'all want to add some
And
more
that,
to
I would say that's where I'm tickled. Again, Region 14, shout out to us. I'm going to say it 27 more times, people. I think some of the resources that we have from our facilities, our locker rooms, our training rooms, our weight rooms, we actually do have the stuff that it needs. I think a lot of times Juco gets this blind rap like, oh, y'all are crusty, y'all don't have anything, y'all don't da-da-da-da. No, not necessarily. Like you said, my teachers are texting me when my kids are messing up. We've maintained a 3.5 GPA every semester I've had my kids because the class sizes are smaller. We have tutoring. We have certainly, my kids go to study hall where I can walk over there to them. It's the coach doing it, not your NCAA compliance people. So we are more hands-on to be like, you got a paper due today. Go get that paper in. Like, what are you doing? And I think it's not coddling. It's just better supporting the kids in a smaller realm than getting thrown into, the fire and then you failing and you coming down to JUCO anyway.
yeah.
And then I'm gonna be mad because you got to maintain a certain GPA with me, and now you mad at me because it's like, but this is JUCO.
Yeah.
Exactly, baby, it is. So I need you to get it together. And I think that is also something. We got some of the best facilities in the nation. We got some of the best weight rooms in the nation. Some of the best trainers in the nation across, to me, all of Texas. And I think some people just don't know. You can't be upset about something you don't know. And I think
Yeah.
if people gave research into some of these, you take some of these JUCO names and a D1 name and you move the name and you go to the campus, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, in my genuine opinion. And I don't think a lot of people know that per se,
Yeah.
for real.
And I think through the resources thing, like that's relative, because when you're talking about resources, like now, are we flying to
Nah.
every game and hotels every? No, we don't need to.
Kilgore, 45 minutes away.
like we don't. So like when you're talking about resources, that's relative. Like we all have gyms, we all have weight rooms, we all have so it's not. We have like our kids get massages, they get they get deep tissue, they get scraped, they get cupped, they get every type of treatment that other athletes are going to have access to. They have individual workouts, they get development plans. So the kids aren't lacking with what they need to be successful on a daily basis just because we're JUCO. Now again, you get into the aesthetic of I want to be a basketball player and I want to post all these pictures and stuff. Well, no, we're not on private jets, and we we don't do that. But again, the kids are successful and they're getting here, they're getting better, and they're getting out. They're not lacking any opportunity to do so because we're not lacking resources in those areas.
Gotcha. Coach Shell, you said something about GPA. What's your standard? What's your
You said me?
Yeah.
I'm a 3.5 girly. I think the higher you are in the grades, the better you are to get recruited. It's a lot of kids that's gonna average 10 and 10. It's a lot of kids that's gonna do this. Set yourself apart in a different way. What's your character? What's your grades? So I ain't looked this semester. Give me a second. We'll post it out probably tomorrow or the next day. But a 3.5 is the standard that I've tried to live by since I've been here at the helm, because you don't want to not get a scholarship because your academics.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Gotcha. Coach Stephanie, you just popped in. Introduce yourself. Tell them who you are.
Hi guys. What's up, y'all? Hey, this Coach Williams, head coach over here at Kilgore College. How you doing, world?
How you doing, world? Yeah. Tell me something good about Kilgore, man. What's up, man?
Hey, Kilgore's a good place to be. I think I just hopped on, but I'm offering everything that everybody else is offering, and we just we ain't here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. So we come in, we work hard every day, and just trying to give these kids opportunities. I think Coach B, Coach Chelsea, they both do a good job. I saw Coach Candace on earlier. I think everybody on this live does a good job as far as promoting their kids and promoting one another. And so Kilgore is just trying to be, a household name and be just as good as these other young ladies in their programs.
Gotcha. What does those conversations are like with the next level with the coaches, like on how y'all get coach like kids recruited again, basically, like because y'all it's another recruiting platform for the kids. So what are those conversations like between y'all and then the 4-year universities?
For us, it's realistic, right? And so I think one of the misconceptions about JUCO is a lot of people, you're not gonna get recruited from JUCO, which is all lies. Because at the end of the day, I don't know what conversation has happened in the last 27 minutes, but I know Brittany and Chelsea can speak that these D1s calling us before season, they calling us over the summer, they're calling us when one of their players gets hurt and they have an open scholarship and
Right.
everybody's coming in June and they need a player to fill that spot in June. I mean, I'm telling my players all the time, you don't know how many people, how many JUCO players have gotten signed in June or July because somebody who did go D1 didn't make it, or somebody got hurt, or whatever it is. And so I think it's a healthy conversation between the JUCO and the 4-year, because it's a pipeline. The way with the NIL and all the money and everything, these coaches got to win right now. And so they need a ready-made player right now that they can't figure out if they're going to adjust from high school to college, because you're playing against grown women. But one thing they know is they can go to this JUCO, watch film, watch what this player can and cannot do, see the upside and the downside of it. And then, hey, let me have a real conversation with you. I need a point guard. I need somebody that's a floor general. Do you have that? Yep. Hop on my Synergy, hop on my Huddle, check her out, tell me what you think about her. And then they know that it translates because they're playing against somebody that's same age or somebody who is transferred from a D1. We all recruiting at the same events. In fact, JUCO coaches, I mean, shoot, we all sitting on
Yeah,
the same
Yeah. Tag
sideline. We
row.
right.
was all at Sandra Meadows. We was all at what you would call it this past weekend. Everybody's talking. We all hang out, 4-year JUCOs, we all hang out after we get done recruiting. We're talking on the phone. We build relationships. Sometimes it's bigger than even basketball. We just call to check up on each
Right.
other and see how each other's doing.
Right.
And so when people say, and you'll hear these D1 say a lot, when they say it's a small world and be careful how you treat a coach, or be careful how you move, you just never know who knows who. And you
Right.
never know the story of that 4-year. A lot of these 4-year coaches started at a JUCO or started at an NAIA.
Right.
And so that's where they're going first, because they know their roots. And so I think it goes hand in hand, having these conversations and being relational with the 4-year and the JUCO.
Got you.
And honestly, back off of what Coach Williams said, like that conversation from the D1 coaches to us is a little bit different than it would be with like maybe like an AAU coach or a high school coach, because like a lot of, again, that transition from high school to college is more so about your potential. Like, again, when they bring in freshmen, they know that like we have some grooming to do.
Yep.
Like we have some growing of this athlete to do. When they're talking to us, it's production based. Like you've been in college for a year, or you've been in college for 2 years.
That's a good point. That's a great.
So when Coach Williams talk about they want that ready-made player, yeah, they like it's not. Oh, I said all the time, it's no such thing as a junior with potential.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that potential. That potential went out the door a long time ago.
You grown.
Tweet that, BC. Tweet that, baby. Say that, baby.
Like,
Say that, honey.
You're grown in the college sense.
I like that.
At that point. So it's no such thing as a junior with potential. Like you are the player that you are. Are you gonna, tweak some things to fit into a system? Sure. But the basis of who you are as a person and a player, like for the duration of the rest of your college career, is kind of set. And that's what coaches want to know. They want to know exactly who they're bringing into their program. The good, the bad, the ugly. Coach, she's going to be a great player. She doesn't love school, but she's going to do enough to keep hooping, but she's going to be your hardest worker in the gym. Coaches want a real conversation.
Yeah.
And that's how to us. They know exactly what they're getting when they come talk to us versus recruiting the potential of a high school kid.
That part.
And I'm gonna go a step further too. Never discount the power of people. Again, someone 4-year can call Stephanie or BC, who they've known, coach with, and work for. Hey, you got somebody? Nah, I don't. But go down to Panola. I don't have a big. Go check out this kid. And just that voice and that, again, you never want to act crazy. My kids might be out. My kids might be on, Coach Williams' campus. Don't be out there acting a fool because Coach Williams can speak on your behalf before I could. People that may call her because they don't have my contact yet. Oh, yeah, such and such got a kid over there. She was a top kid in our league. And I've seen it where in our conference, you can get 8 to 6 points and get a D1 scholarship in our conference. They'll look at how much you had when you played Kilgore. Then again, as a younger coach to this, a novice, all right, as I build in my network, they'll call over to Trina. They'll call over to Jeff. They'll call over to Stephanie to kind of just see, hey, tell me about this kid. So again, never discount the power of people. And just because the letters on the front, or we might have an NJCAA emblem on, don't knock it. Some people are calling Juco coaches about their kids in the transfer portal. So you still want to get a good lasting impression on your coaches even when you leave here. They'll call back, hey, you remember such and such kid? Yeah, I remember her. She played at whoever, again, Reach 14. I ain't gonna speak for no one else, but
I think Candace said we gotta show Region 5. We gotta show.
I love Texas though.
I learned my lesson last time. I'm showing Region 5 some love.
Shout out to Region 5. Let me do it like this, Steph.
Ashley at, man?
Just Texas.
I'll
say Texas. I'm gonna say Texas, and everybody will come get mad. You can at me, but I think Texas has the best regions. I'm gonna say Region 14 1A, Region 5 1B. I'll say it like that. For Texas, I'm a Texas go all day. I just think you got to research where you go. I'm just saying.
We had a week already this season, before I get to conference play, where we played 4 straight nationally ranked teams. 4 straight in a week. And we never left the state of Texas.
Yes.
We didn't
really a lot.
So 4 straight nationally ranked teams, and that's just how the schedule fell. I didn't think I was scheduling 4 straight nationally ranked teams in March, April.
Yeah.
But the basketball is down here. So again, you look at that schedule and you putting it together, it's juggernaut every single night between Region 5 and Region 14.
Got you. It says, Chelsea, what you doing over there?
I didn't know if you needed me to log off or somebody else to get on. Again, I'm with. I got my people with me, so I can hop off and watch while somebody else. I was about to.
I'm gonna let somebody on. I'm gonna let somebody else on real quick.
Okay, you controlling it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna sit here and mind my business.
Okay. I'm about to kick you off though, but I'm gonna let you back in a minute.
Okay.
Right. Hold on, let me see. Y'all is funny. It says, how important is media training for JUCO players?
It's very important. We had the opportunity to go to Colorado this year, and we had NCAA player Isis played North Carolina kind of all over, and she did some media training. She did media training with us just because I think so many people, they don't know how to talk. you know, they don't know how to talk when they get on TV or on the radio or all of those things, and just how to carry yourself. And so I know for us, we talk about how you carry yourself as a Lady Ranger and just as a woman, on and off the floor, because once you go to your school, you're no longer individualized as yourself. You are now carrying the brand of that school. And so you can't be up in Walmart looking crazy or up in the dollar store talking crazy, because what's going to happen is, especially in a lot of these JUCOs, you're in a smaller town, what's going to happen is they're not going to say this player, they're going to say, they're going to call Coach Williams and say, Coach Williams, a Lady Ranger was acting XYZ. And so we make sure that we, hey, once you step on campus, this is the way you carry yourself, this is the way you do things. After games, we have somebody that talks, that does live video for our games, so we'll have them go up there and do a post game conference, and just learn how to talk, because a lot of these kids don't even know how to hold a conversation with an adult, let alone when you put a camera in front of them.
Facts.
So teaching them as soon as possible how to carry themselves is very, very important. And I think we do it on the JUCO level. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. All the stuff that people like to talk about, JUCO is this, that, and the third. Let me tell you something.
Talk to him.
Newsflash.
Talk
That
to him.
stuff be happening at the D1 too. The difference is they just be covering it.
Talk to him.
That stuff they be athletes at the D1 cutting up too.
Yeah.
Don't play with us.
So y'all like hood and ratchet.
They're all 18, 19, 20 year, like, just because they signed a D1 scholarship doesn't mean they're not an 18 or a 19-year-old. All kids are doing the same things.
The difference is on the JUCO, we get time to spend with them 18, 19-year-old and teach them how to become a woman, and then go on and be 20, 21 at that 4 year, and keep on going from the stuff that you've learned.
Mm-hmm.
But a kid's gonna be a kid regardless.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
If you come from that right mindset and you a hooper, you're gonna be a hooper with wherever school you go to.
That's a fact.
Gotcha. I think the perspective is like JUCO is harder than being at a 4 year, in a sense, just because it's a dog eat dog world, because everybody is still getting recruited. Like, you in that recruiting stage again. Like, it's like you got the 4 years of high school, then you gotta go get recruited again for another 2 years. So it's like, do y'all feel like, do y'all have, like, I don't want to say y'all, but like, do you feel like it's more of a selfish space in the JUCO space?
I think that honestly depends on the culture and the environment that surrounds the program. It can be a selfish space if you allow it to be, or it can be a space where, like, and all credit to the coaches, especially us. We Region 14. I remember, I'm not from Texas. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. So I was like I'm the brand new, face coming here when I got hired at Paris. Coach Trina, Ed Tyler, and then Coach Byron, who was at Angelina. Coach Byron called me and said, "Don't you come down here acting funny." He said, "We love each other in Region 14. We're going to compete against each other, but we love each other." Like, and so, again, that camaraderie amongst the coaches, like, we all want each other's programs to succeed. Yes, we want to beat each other. We want to win. But when it comes to, like, Region 14 versus everybody else, we're Region 14 all the way through. And, our programs are kind of run the same way. It's always us versus everybody else. If one person here looks good, it brings more eyes in here, because everybody can't get the one player that's at 20 points. But everybody comes and they might see the player that's setting the good screens and getting rebounds. They might see the defensive stopper that's holding the other team's leading score. Like, So again, I think it's about how you frame it in the environment that you set for your kids. So can it be selfish? It can be, but it's about, one, the environment that you set, and two, how well those kids buy in. And I think we do a good job of having our kids buy into team concepts, and that's evidenced by the amount of success that the teams have, because you can't have kids not playing together in the team sport and have as many nationally ranked programs as we do in this.
Yep, that's a fact.
So it's good team basketball going on down here.
Right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think I think
Oh, go ahead.
I have to piggyback on what Coach said. It's whatever program you running. There's going to be AAU teams where somebody could call that player selfish. There's going to be D1 teams where that player probably, is running selfish. It's how that coach is running that program. So I think if the coach is, hey, we're going to play team basketball, this is how we running it, this is my show, you either get on with it or, you go on somewhere else, then you're going to get that. But I don't think as a whole it's, JUCO basketball is just selfish, doggy world. I think it's the culture you create.
Yeah.
And
Now,
I
again,
don't think it's fair to say that too, because wherever you go, you can go to a program, you can go to a lower level D1, and it could be the same thing. And so, but nobody running around saying, "Oh, well, lower level D1s, you got to go mid major to play team basketball." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
it's whatever is set that the standard that the coach has put
yeah,
down there.
yeah. Now, and so I disagree with that whole JUCO is selfish thing, but about it being hard or maybe harder than NCAA, in some ways, yes. And because, like you said, that recruitment process is still alive. Kids can't get here and get comfortable if they want to go beyond here.
That's true.
And so when you match up against people night in and night out, I think that's what lends to the competitiveness of JUCO basketball. Because, like, yo, you a shooting guard, I'm a shooting guard. Whoever watched this film got to see me eat you up.
Yeah.
I gotta
That part.
be the best shooting
You
guard
look, she talked to me
on
when
this
y'all down there.
film tonight. I gotta be the best point guard on this film tonight. I gotta be the best, power forward on this film tonight. So, like, it is highly competitive because kids still have things that they're working towards, and they have goals they're trying to attain. That competitive nature should be coming out against the other team, not icing out, like your teammates and stuff like that. And I think we do a good job of making sure we make that very clear. Everything that you feel, all that frustration, baby, go out and take that out on the other team. Go, go send that shot to the wall. Get a rebound, put back, screen, and our games are live. They spirited. We the kids talking trash, the coaches yelling. It's super competitive. And that's the expectation with JUCO. So is it hard? Absolutely. You can't get up here and get comfortable. You cannot get up here and relax. You can't get up here and think that you've made it.
Right.
You have somewhere else to go from here.
That makes sense. But I think that's the same thing as the 4-year too, though. Like, I think, like, at the end of the year, it's a 4-year, but I think, like, once you get there, like, you can't get comfortable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, they're gonna send you back to the crib.
That part.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And you're right, but to an extent, there's some things that kids really don't understand too about the 4-year level. Like, so before I coached before, and I went D1 for a couple years and came back. Yes, kids or people, you can get released,
right?
But other things that get taken into account there, like sometimes there are limits on how many players that you can release at that level. APR is in jeopardy. If kids transfer and don't go to another school, it affects your APR, which affects your ability to go play in postseason. It affects your scholarship number. There's a lot of different things in there. So it's not to say that kids can go there and get comfortable, but sometimes kids are sheltered a little bit if the team happens or the program happens to be in a position to where, dang, she's not really giving us what we need, but she got a 3.4 GPA. We can't let her go because our scores is barely hanging on with a 2.2. So again, coaches have to play those kind of games sometimes at the NCAA level too, where we don't necessarily have to.
Gotcha.
So they can't get comfortable, but sometimes they do get to hide out a little bit more at that level than they get to hide out at ours.
Gotcha. So it's a little more leeway in the 4-year than it is in the JUCO space.
Sometimes. Now, again, if a program is on the up and up and all APR, RPI, all that stuff is together, coach got free reign to do what they want. It's about the situation.
Gotcha. Okay. You got a question, Ashley?
No, I'm listening right now.
Okay.
And I'm admiring his hair over here.
Oh,
My girl is lady.
So, how do y'all go about? I won't even say how y'all go about. What are y'all saying if I'm a 25, Ashley 25? What are y'all saying right now in the space that we at? Like right now, it's halfway through the high school season. I ain't got really many looks. What you telling that kid right now? What you telling me?
You ain't get signed by Juco. I mean, you ain't get signed by a D1 in that first signing period. Come on. Come on. Take time, get re-recruited. You ain't got to spend 2 years. You can spend 1 year, work your behind off, get higher looks than what you were getting, or get the same. It doesn't matter. But either way, if your goal is to go Division 1, why go to a division? Well, I'm not gonna say why go to a Division 1, but I will say they when the portal open up, them D1s going to the portal, and that's gonna be what's next. So you can go be someone's 13, 14, 15, and that's cool. And that's cool if that's what you want to do. Because a lot of people want to do that, and that's
Yeah,
okay. Like a lot of people want
that's
to do that, and that's okay.
that's
But
a good point that you said that, because it's just a lot of kids that just want to get there and just
Yeah.
they
get
just
there.
ride and just ride it. But
Right.
if you want to hoop,
Yeah.
then you might as well come do 1 year hoop, and you probably go higher than where you came, because now that development came. It's different from just crossing over a cone. You about to be on the floor crossing somebody over in real life. So, come hoop for a year and then get re-recruited, and put in the work and then go from there. And so, there's a lot of kids that's that 13, 14, 15 that I hey, I hit the portal. So there's a lot of kids that's 13, 14, 15 that are not happy at
Mm-hmm.
all. Most of them aren't happy because they're used to playing all their high school career. Then they go and they're playing behind post grads, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Don't nobody they don't want to do that. And I'm having to run the same suicides y'all gotta run too. And I'm only
Mm-hmm.
getting,
Yeah,
30
amen.
seconds a game.
Mm-hmm.
Cause the moment you get put in that first game, that's your eligibility for that full year. So shoot. Come play at a JUCO, get that experience, grow, and then go on about your business. We'll get you where you need to go that next year, or
Yeah.
have a
Right.
great time and stay 2 years, and then go on where you need to go after your 2 years, whatever, however you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know. Um, what am I about to say? I don't know if y'all know y'all conversion rate since y'all been in the JUCO space, but what's the numbers look like from JUCO that you got to the next level? If you know off top, if not, then
So since I've been at Paris, this is my 4th season that I'm in. But since I've been at Paris, every kid that's graduated from my program has signed a scholarship.
damn.
Talk
At,
that talk, BC.
Yeah.
every kid that has graduated has signed a scholarship. And I've also had, now I have freshmen that have gone out as qualifiers too, so they haven't graduated, but
Mm-hmm.
but every single graduate has signed a scholarship. Then I've had some freshman qualifiers go as
And how
well.
long you
This
been
is
there?
my 4th season.
4 seasons.
Yep. So 3 years.
So that's well over what, 40
No,
kids,
no, no,
30
no,
kids?
no. We've had, I would say we're probably up at like, cause I don't get very, very many sophomores.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Okay.
we about four or five a year.
Okay.
Like I had two I had 4 last year. I had 2 the year before, and then I had 4 the year before, and then I got some freshmen qualifiers in there too. So I'm at about probably 15 or 16 kids in the last 3 years.
Okay.
Brittany, you said
Dang,
or it was either you
you
or
ain't let Stephanie pop her shit.
oh.
I don't want to talk nothing. Brittany got
Oh,
that. You got me.
okay.
I love
Okay.
it.
But I listen. I degrees and destinations.
There you go.
Degrees and destinations. And I told my kids, like, it's so funny because my very first year, I had a kid that transferred to me from Longwood University. And on her way out, she had a lot of D1s reaching back out to her. And it's funny because she ended up choosing to go to a D2 school. And I was like, Tay, why you want to go to a D2 school? She said she knew enough about the process this time around to where she just picked the environment that was going to be better for her. And I appreciate that to my kids a lot. Again, I don't have to be on that campus. Your mom and dad don't have to be on that campus. Your coach, nobody. So once all the pictures are taken and the papers are signed, you got to walk around that campus. You got to go to practice every day. So you have to make the decision that's going to be best for you.
I think
Yeah.
I think that's another plus side of going JUCO. Most of the JUCO coaches that I've talked to, whether that's Texas, Kansas, Florida, the relationship you build with our kids is just a whole nother level. And so when our kids are going on these visits to these D1s, D2s, they come back and they talk to us. All right, coach, this is what the coach was saying. I like this about the school. I like that about the school. And now we're able to teach them to feel through that fluff. and be like, okay, do they have your major? Oh no, coach. But they got really cool locker room. Okay, but do you want to be a doctor or not?
Right.
You know, and so
Yeah.
who care
Yeah.
about the locker room? Is that what you want? Yeah, you're right. All right, well then boom, let's move here. Or okay, let's look at the roster. How many sophomores or how many seniors do they have on the roster at your position? They got 5. Okay, so do you want to go be a part of a program where you gonna have to, 5, 6 men on the bench, or what, this, that, and the third. And so being able to help parents, being able to help players know the right questions to ask. It's not just necessarily, it's not a bad thing to go JUCO and get re-recruited. That everybody gets scared of that.
Mm-hmm.
But how many people go because they're just choosing that D1 because that's the only D1 they had and they don't know the right questions, and then when they get there, they're like, "Dog, I should have asked this while I was here." But I was so mesmerized of the aesthetics of the campus that I was like, "Yeah, them pictures were fire. This is the school I'm going to." Every college coach is a salesperson. We all car salesmen. You got to be, And so at the end of the day, I always tell my recruits, ain't nobody gonna show you the roaches in their home. They gonna show you the great things about their program. That's what everybody's gonna do. It's your job to figure out what's important to you and your family, and that's how you're gonna be able to feed through the fluff. And so I think that's another good thing with JUCO, because I know some of these seniors, y'all have a lot of anxiety, and juniors, you have a lot of anxiety because everybody gonna be blowing up your phone. You have certain times where you're gonna want to talk to people. I don't want to talk to anybody after 8 o'clock because you're tired of keeping conversation and how to talk to a coach. And so a lot of that just brings that pressure down so that you don't feel like you're making a mistake, and you have time to like process everything and really write down the pros and cons of each school and figure out what's best for you.
Gotcha. So you said sell. So this goes for both of y'all. It says, how do you sell your program?
I sell my program on family. I'm very authentic. I have 3 kids. When my recruits are up here, they see my kids, they see the way they interact. My best selling point is the way my kids treat me, meaning my players. Because one thing about it, 2 things for sure, these student athletes ain't gonna lie. If they don't like you,
That's a
they
fact.
don't like you.
That's a fact.
And so at the end of the day, I tell my kids, I don't tell them to lie. I tell them, hey, go have time with my players, ask them any questions. I give them parents' numbers, ask the parents, and then we go from there. I'm very honest on every question they ask me, because I'm big on, if I lie to you now during this recruiting process, when you get here and you realize it's a lie, the trust is automatically gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might like so and so school. That's a great program. I can't offer that, but I'm gonna tell you what I can offer, and this is what we can do here at Kilgore. And usually the people who respect the honesty, rock with us. What about you, BC? So I know how to take your players.
Honestly, like you said it's my players. I think my players probably my players bring players to the table. Oh, they will send me a highlight off Instagram or off Twitter in a heartbeat. Y'all have no idea how often my players have sent me, Coach, you got to look at this kid, but this kid, yep, my friend not really happy over there. Like we got to pull this in. So my players, one, do a lot of recruiting for us, but then two, when they get on campus, I send them all in the locker room. I send them, and I said, you can go ask them anything you want. They gonna, they gonna tell you, oh, that lady be crazy sometimes. Sometimes she gonna run us into the ground. Sometimes we gonna watch, we gonna be in film for 2 hours. She gonna be tearing us up on that, But it's all honest. And I tell everybody that, the thing that you have to understand is that I'm gonna ask you to work harder than you ever have before. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, your kid might call home crying, like, this is hard. I don't know if I can do this, but you're also going to get supported. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're going to love every day of being in Paris, Texas, and being at Paris Junior College. You're not going to love every day of this, but you're going to love the outcome, and you're going to be supported through the process. And again, I think people value that honesty.
Got you. It says, what's the best way to reach out to y'all coaches to send you want to go JUCO? First off, let me answer the question. Homecoming University is the place to be. But anyway, but go ahead.
The best way to reach out to us, I mean, we both use our social medias a lot. So again, send me a message on Instagram, on Twitter, absolutely. But then email. You know, we get a lot of emails. If you're trying to send over film, send it through email. You know, should I give mine, or I'll type it and I'll put it in the comments for my email. But yeah, our social media is like, our Instagram. Hit us in the DM. You can send us links to YouTube highlights, huddle highlights. And again, you put that in my DM, I can click that and I look at it right on my phone. It's very easily accessible. Make use of what you have. We all have our phones in our hands, a great deal of the time. So make stuff very easily accessible for us. Go ahead and send it through.
Got you. Okay. It says, how many people do y'all typically carry on the roster?
I carry about 12 to 13. This year was my biggest crew. I had 15, but I typically carry about 12 to 13.
Yeah, I've been in the starting off with the 12, 13 round about that. Again, just don't believe in having kids sitting for no reason. 13, 14, 15 typically aren't playing a whole lot anyway, but you got to have enough for if somebody gets hurt or, something, so that you can maintain a practice. So that 12 to 13 numbers is about right.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see. It says, are you able to see blackballing from a coach?
In what way?
I don't know. I just happened to read the question.
Like a player getting blackballed by a coach?
Charlene Simmons.
I'm assuming that's a player getting blackballed by a coach. But I would hope that that's not happening. I think hopefully everybody that's in the business of youth sports is for the betterment of the kid, and the promotion of the kid. But coaches also have a duty to be honest. Mm-hmm. And I think, a lot of times we have to keep that in mind too, because I can't, if a kid is just not doing right, or we say that a kid is not ready, then that's the reality of it, because I can't tell a coach that a kid is ready or that they're gonna come be an angel on their campus, and I know that they haven't, or a coach finds out on the back end that we know all this other stuff, withheld all this information, because again, there's more than just one kid relying on my character and my word. Yeah. I can't burn a bridge with a coach saying something untrue about one player, because then that coach may not come back and look at the rest of my kids. We can't burn bridges. We can't mess up relationships. So I hope that players aren't being blackballed by a coach, but we do have a duty to be honest. And if a kid just isn't doing what they are supposed to do, then the honest conversation is going to happen if a coach asks that question. Because again, that's that coach's livelihood too.
Gotcha. How often do y'all use recruiting sites, stuff like that, to really find players? What is y'all recruiting angle? I guess I know of course going to a tournament, social media, but do y'all actually use sites like NCSA or stuff like stuff like that? Mm-hmm. Recruit you, whatever. I don't know.
We have access to field level and NCSA.
Okay.
And we go through there pretty regularly. My assistant does a great job of that. she does an outstanding job of it. And I will be honest, she's on there a whole lot more than I am. She spends days and hours combing through those. I get probably about a round of links every week. Okay, look through these. Yes and no them for me, and I'll make contact with who I need to make contact with. So I will say we do use those field level and NCSA for sure.
Gotcha. Coach Williams?
I recruit everything. If you under a tree, under a rock, I'm gonna find you. We recruiting everywhere. So yep, all the websites, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, I see kids now putting their highlights on TikTok and stuff and tagging me on it. So, I think people are getting creative in the way of standing out, and so it's just, if you can hoop, somebody gonna find you.
Mm-hmm.
So you believe in that? If they're good enough, they'll find you?
I think you got to put yourself in position to be found. Make use of it. Like Coach said, if you putting that highlight on TikTok, you putting it on Instagram, you putting it on Twitter, you send it out. Yeah, somebody's gonna open it and see it. But you can't sit in the house with your ball in your lap and think somebody's gonna come walk up on your front door and knock. No, you do have to put yourself in position to be found.
I like. See, now,
you got to put yourself in positions to be found, and then you got to put yourself in positions to get to where you want to go. So if I'm a small town kid, like you said, I'm joining coming you, I'm doing all the things coach just said, and man, I might have the best mid-major D1 talent, but because of wherever I was, they may not
Yep.
see me or they may not think I'm good enough. So what I can't do is the offers that I do have say, nah, I'm not taking that because I'm here. No,
Yep.
I got myself in a position to be found. Now I'm going to take one of these offers I have, and then I'm going to bust my tail, and I'm going to get to where I want to go, to that mid-major or wherever. So.
Got you. Well, if nobody got any more questions, I thank y'all for being on here, and
Oh, that's
I
fun.
got a little, I got a little treat for y'all, JUCO space. You know what I'm saying, here in a little bit. You know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna spoil it. Oh, hold on. Somebody another coach want to join real quick.
Okay.
He from up north, but I was finna end the show. But I do got some love for y'all in about a week or so. What up, coach?
What up? What up?
It's
What up?
another
How you guys doing?
doing good. It's another JUCO coach. Where you
What's up,
from?
Coach Horton?
How you guys doing? Coach Horton, I'm the head coach over at Harcum College up in Philadelphia area. So right up the street from, literally on the same main line as Villanova and all the Big Five here. So St. Joe's and whatnot. So
Gotcha. What region is that?
um, we're on the East Coast. I'm Region 19. Um, so yeah, if I can answer any kind of question, I'm not as prepared as you guys were. I'm kind of just popping in. I saw you guys were on, so figured I'd lock in here. But I can try to answer anything that you might have for me right now.
Gotcha. No, we was actually about to end, but I had seen you. We wanted to hop on. I know this is a JUCO talk, so you know, give a chance to kind of put yourself out there.
Yeah, yeah,
Sell
yeah.
your
It's funny.
program, man. Sell your
Yeah, it's
program.
kind of
What?
funny. I see you have Paris. I didn't. What's your name, if you don't
BC.
mind me asking?
BC.
So I think one of the players that I have right now actually, Bryce. That's my girl.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but no, right now we're a Division II JUCO. We're in Region 19. Like I said, we're currently ranked, I think 18 in the nation right now. So,
Right.
and thank you, I appreciate it. And for me, I'm a first year coach, so I was on the staff the last 2 years. Kind of was able to kind of see the ropes and whatnot. 2 years ago, the first year I was on staff, I was primarily player development. We went to the Final Four that year, and then last year we were in the Elite Eight of the national championship, and I was more of the like head assistant, that type of thing. So right now we have 4 losses. 3 out of those 4 losses came to top 5 teams in the nation. We were able to go up to Michigan in a preseason NIT top tournament. We were able to knock off the number 3 ranked team in the nation in Mesa, and then we ended up going to the championship and subsequently losing to our rival Essex, CCBC Essex. So, it's been a roller coaster for me right now, just kind of learning, what works, what doesn't work, and coupling that with my skill development background. So being able to kind of build practices out, um, as well as putting my spin on what I think certain players can add to their game and that type of thing. That's something that I kind of take pride in. So
Got you. You said you got a player that was with
Mhm.
her.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
kind of like talk about, because we talked about that kind of earlier, like as
Yeah.
far as
So
yeah.
I'm pretty much. She's originally from New Jersey,
yeah.
and
Gotcha.
down to Texas, and Texas was a little
Yep.
far. She had a difficult first year and went back a little bit closer to home. But she's real
Yeah.
talented, like very talented for sure. I think she just needed to get back closer to home and kind of get a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Talk,
And it's
talk
funny.
talk about that adjustment, like being away, like even though it's a JUCO, you know what I'm saying? Like just talk away, just being away from home, just in general, in the college
mhm.
space.
I mean, it again. There's a lot of adjustment, so it's a big deal sometimes to be away from home, and then again, you got all the rest of it. So you got the heavy basketball schedule, the classes, again, being in college. I think for a lot of freshmen, it's the first time that you're really kind of immersed in basketball. Like you don't
Yes.
from it. So, you have your workouts, you got study hall, you got class, you got film, you go back to the dorm and you live with your teammates. Like, you sometimes don't get the mental break sometimes. And you have to be able to kind of manage that and kind of create your own mental space. So it can be difficult for kids a lot of times. And it can be difficult for kids that aren't far away from home. Like we have kids that are from like the Dallas metro area, from Houston, and they get homesick. Sometimes they get kind of down and have to work through some of that too. But it is that's a really big part of the transition too, is realizing, like, once you here and you're in it, you're in it.
And I'll also
Brother Ed, how are you, brother Ed?
What's up now? How you doing?
Man, and I'm gonna let homie down here talk because I got some questions for this coach. I really love her. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a fan.
He
I'm a fan,
he
Slim.
he cool. He cool. He real cool. He cool people. Yeah. Go ahead. Somebody.
No, only thing I was gonna say is I'll just kind of add to that. Through the recruiting process, you get to learn a little bit about your coach, but when you go and it's you and the coach and far away, and you learn way more about your coach way quicker when you're far away from home. You know what I mean? So it's like you know something about your coach for sure, but as you get in the trenches and you start realizing the expectations of your coach and what they view you as, and what you need to do in order to fulfill that, all that stuff comes into play. So the travel and all of that adds into, like she was alluding to, everything else. So I definitely believe she is 1,000% correct on that. So
Yeah. It says, what do y'all look for in a player?
I don't know if you already answered this, so I'll kind of.
Yeah, a little earlier. I'm saying,
Yeah.
but yeah, approach.
Well, it's kind of it's a multiple prong thing for me. Definitely coachability. I think coachability is very, very high on my list, as well as uh, I will say, like, their support system, their family. 9 times out of 10, something that I look at a lot, and I think Coach knows this specifically about Bryce. It's funny that we're actually talking about her in this type of light, but like, her family is laden with basketball players. So the way that I actually met Bryce, was her older sister played at DePaul, and during the summer, and she has two older sisters. One played at DePaul, and another one played at Seton Hall. And during the summer, I actually trained both of them, so I didn't even know they had a younger sister.
Yeah.
So I'm just in the gym, kind of working with them, and they're like, "Yeah, my younger sister, like, she kind of wants to be. She's homesick, da da da." So I think knowing what that JUCO and basketball at a high level takes, like that means a lot. Like, you're not going to be afraid of the 6 a.m.s, or certain expectations that certain people have, because you've seen your sisters go through it, or you've seen your older brothers, or whatever it is. And I think that's important. And then we all kind of allude to it when it comes to players in general, just like, who gonna run through a wall out here, bro? Who's gonna be a dog? Who am I? Do I know for a fact I can have consistency no matter what? Like, I know what I'm getting out of this player, whether she's making shots or not. I know what I'm getting out of this player. So, those are just three things that I look into. Of course, there's other things when it comes to specifically, whether it's shooting, or being able to break somebody down off the dribble, whatever that is. But when it comes to the player itself, like, I need somebody that knows the landscape of what this high level basketball is. Somebody who's willing to run through a wall no matter what her role is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want somebody who's going to be sitting here, well, I only want to play this role. Like, I don't want that. Like, that's hard to coach. You know what I mean? So those are a few things for me.
Yeah.
Hey, coach. I'm Coach Gino. How you doing, Coach Horton? I'm talking to I love female coaches that have your type of swag because I believe that a lot of the that's a lot of what the women's game is missing. Those hard nosed just swaggified coaches, but my question is, right, at the JUCO level, coach, do you believe that I was always told, because I went to JUCO, and I was always told that's the last stop before quitting and quitting basketball. And they say that's the reason why they say that is because you have no more options after that. Do you believe that?
Absolutely not. Honestly, I think with JUCO, I feel like the kids have the world at their feet. When
Okay.
when
Espe- How do you feel now about with the new rule change?
so it hasn't officially changed.
Okay. All
you
right.
know,
All right. All right.
yeah.
All right.
So
Good to know. Good to
yeah.
know.
So and I think there's a lot of excitement and chatter about it. It hasn't officially changed yet.
Okay.
This year they did grant all the seniors an additional year of eligibility to stop all those lawsuits from coming back to back.
Man.
So, but it's something that they're exploring, and we probably will see some type of rule here soon. So it's not an official rule change yet, but I think that we can expect some type of, you know, determination. Now, with that being said, I think that, in light of that, and kind of in light of that court ruling, do I think that, JUCO will they get at least a free year, if not two? I do.
Okay.
I do think that's coming. And again, I don't see a situation where I think it hurts kids to take time to develop.
Mm.
Like, I think a lot of people in general just want to fast track life. And it's nothing wrong with your path. It's nothing wrong with, being the kid that maybe has to, it's funny because I was having this conversation, I think, last week. There's nothing wrong with being a kid that plays in their age group on AAU. Nothing's wrong with being a kid that plays, JV your freshman year. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. Your path is your path. You're going to end up where you're supposed to do if you do the work. So, if you can go JUCO and get a free year or two, and you develop and you become an even better player, and then you go on, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think we have to exhaust all options to just be as good as, or be as great as we can be on all fronts.
Cool. So
I'll kind
I'm
of
from the
add on to
DMV
that.
area,
Oh,
coach.
I'm sorry.
I'm from the
Okay.
DMV. So if you was recruiting a hard nosed dog, because we got all dogs down here, you know what I'm saying? Um, I was wondering how would that process go as far as is it still like the Division 1, 2 facilities as far as us coming on a visit and stuff like that? How does it go? Because no disrespect, coach, but I've been blessed enough to put girls in Division 1, so I haven't really went through the process of going through the JUCO. Now I did have a kid leave a D1 and have to go to a JUCO, but when you already at a D1 facility, it's kind of and leaving in a sense going anywhere but to a JUCO, you're like a high major priority, so it was a little they rolled the red carpet out. But I just wanted to know how the process would be. A 25 kid who like I said haven't signed yet, got a couple interest letters from the Division 1 schools, but nobody has made her a priority.
Okay.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, fam? So how would you recruit that kid?
I mean, we recruit the same way everybody else does. Now, like you said, we may not be, sitting at every single game and flying to every single game, but
Mhm.
if I can't be in the gym, I tell the kids to me the live stream all the time. I'm
All
watching
right.
the stream. I'm texting them about their play. Oh, I saw that play. That was cool. You should have did this here. Hit me up after the game. So we do the work to recruit the kids. Yes, we bring kids on visits.
Okay.
We gonna bring them down. We're gonna take care of them now. Are we flying the whole family out? No.
Oh, okay.
Like this.
Oh, y'all flying us out?
I'm gonna say that
We getting flew out? Oh, I like this school. Oh, I like this JUCO. Y'all flying them out?
we not flying the whole
Oh,
family
oh,
out, but we'll
man, listen. As long as my baby get there, I don't care. All right,
definitely,
shit.
no, You know, we do. We're gonna, again, we understand the importance of putting your feet on the ground, as much as possible. You know, and we take care of that. You know, now within reason, because you know sometimes we do get kids late. So if it's a June kid or a July kid, we may not be able to do that because the budget may, you know, they shut down the summertime. We roll it over. We may not be able to do that. But we get into this process at the time that allows us to do the process. You know, the whole way through. You know, we do our due diligence in recruiting the kid.
Same question for you, Coach Horton.
For us, I'll say the process may be a little bit different. You know, here at Juco, especially Division II level, our budgets are very
What school
compact.
you at, Coach? I'm
Harcum
sorry.
College. Harcum
Oh
College.
my
We're a Division II team.
God.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Hawkham, boy. I love me. You, hey, listen here. My best friend went to Hawkham, and that was the best year of my life. I partied like no other at that little camp. You understand me? Hey, Slim, that drink like a. Hey, I'm telling you, boy, I ain't never had that much fun in my life, gang. Hey,
Hey
yeah,
man.
Coach,
Hey
you had
man.
the right demonstration.
Hey
Yeah.
man. Listen.
Oh my
Listen.
God.
Yeah, that's a
Yes,
part of our recruiting. No, I'm messing with you. But
Yeah.
no, man. But yeah, I mean, we try to get people on campus as much as possible. That's why we try to lock down the Philadelphia area, New Jersey areas, to make those kind of our pipelines. You know, me specifically, I have a background with Essex, or I said Essex, Exodus up in New York.
Hmm.
So I used to coach with them. So Thomas
So
is one
that's
of the
where I
guys
know
there.
you from. Yeah, you and Thomas used to motherfucking bump shoulders together.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I probably blew
um,
one of your teams out. But go
I
ahead.
didn't say all that. I didn't say all that. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. But yeah. So like you know, I see what he has up there. Definitely as I'm going to different events or whatever. Just try to check out the same way any other coach does. So right now, we actually, like, one of my goals is to get in a couple of Division I transfers in here. This past year, I was able to get two in. One from LaSalle, another one from oh my goodness, where did she go? I forget off the top of my head, but I ended up getting two in this year. It kind of helps that I'm doing the training thing, but I think the other thing, and this is just something I was talking to my assistant about earlier this week, the stigma of JUCO, kind of even what you were saying about it being the last stop before they stop playing. It's like, I don't want anybody to think that's why why they coming to Harkham. You know what I mean? Like, I get a lot of different type of girls. Like, maybe girls that, you know, were getting recruited high major, but had an injury
Injured.
when they were in eighth or ninth
Mm-hmm.
grade or something like that. Now they just getting back and they moving well. I have one of those. I have, you know, one of the Division I girls. I trained with her during the summer. She went to um, you know, her where she signed Division I and didn't like it, and I was able to get her in within the next, you know, early period right before, you know, add and drop ended. You know what I mean? So it's like, I have good girls that are good in the classroom. They don't do anything bad, you know, to make them JUCO kids that people think the JUCO kids are. Honestly, it's about them developing and being able to, when they leave me, they are going to be able to sustain success at the next level, whether that's in a leadership role, whether that's being able to give a consistent 12 and 10 rebounds, whatever it is. Like, they're going to be able to perform at the next level. So you know, the stigma of, you know, this is the last places they can be, like, no, it's really not. You
Okay.
know, they
Okay.
gonna come here, they gonna get better, and then when they leave, I'm gonna be able to go to their games and support them, and be that cheerleader that I can be. You know what I mean? So
No doubt.
that's just where I'm at.
That's the shit I like to hear. The continued support, because a lot of these lames, once they can't do nothing for you, they act like they don't know
For
you,
sure.
and that's the shit that I don't like about the game. But Coach Chris, I wanted to touch back on you dropped some gems earlier, and I don't really think people were understanding, or they probably heard it but didn't really get it. So you started the conversation on the ARPs and the PRI, and could you go back to that and explain, because I don't think people and I'm not going to say outside of the basketball world because everybody's kind of in the basketball world. But, if you never played, then you wouldn't really understand it. And that's crucial, because I tell people all the time the grades kind of matter a little bit more than the skill. And they look at me funny. And I tell them, I say, you ever seen that kid that it's every time North Carolina plays on ESPN and she never takes her warm up off, she probably has a 4.2 GPA. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And so she's always going to have a spot. You understand what I'm saying? But she's probably never going to hit the floor till her senior year. You know what I'm saying? But could you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah. So again, there are a lot of different metrics that go into, just funding, postseason eligibility, even like you might get recruiting restrictions and stuff like at the NCAA level, based on your team's like I don't know if health of the program is the right word, but that's just how I'll put it. So
Okay.
again, part of that is your team GPA, your graduation rate. How kids are coming through your programs and not getting a degree. If you can't have kids play 4 years in your program and
And
they
not, yeah.
they have nothing to show for it. Or again, if you constantly have a revolving door, kids coming and going and not completing degrees, it's not really the basis of what college sports is supposed to be about. It's not just basketball. All sports kind of have these metrics. So that APR is about it's one about the transfers. So again, if a kid leaves your program, do they go to another 4-year school? Do they go to a 2-year school? Or do they not go anywhere at all? You get graded on that. They follow each kid in the transfer portal to their next destination. And you either lose points, gain points, stay even. Same thing with the GPA. All those grades, credit hours, class retakes, pass, fail, that stuff goes into your grade. Each program gets a grade every year. So like when coaches are saying like, no, what you do in the classroom and your character and all that other stuff, it absolutely matters because if you're part of the reason why a team loses 2 scholarships because their APR drops, or a team gets banned from postseason competition because their APR drops, that's a big deal. Your head coach has to go sit in the AD's office and talk about that. The AD has to go sit in the president's office and go sit in front of the boosters and talk about that. So it's a lot of things that go into basketball at that level that have nothing to do with basketball and how well you can play it. And that's a lot of things that the kids don't understand. And sometimes the parents don't understand too. And if you don't know, you don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's I screen recorded that part. I'm just gonna let you know. So if you see that later, just know I screen recorded it. Okay. Um, yeah, like I say, I'm fortunate enough to deal. My little sister is Maddie McDaniel and Layla Reynolds at the University of South Carolina and Florida, respectfully. So they're McDonald's All Americans. So I got to see the journey from a different path in a sense. But my sister was at North Carolina Central. She had, she did 2 years and she left and she wound up going to Juco. And you telling me now basically that, they followed her and graded her. I had no idea. I thought it was just like, we done. You know what I'm saying? Like, because basically when she got to Juco, she kind of fell out of love for it in a sense. She was at the powerhouse that we have here, Essex. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with Essex, but Coach Mike does a wonderful job recruiting. I actually love his relationships with the kids. I believe that that's very important
Uh,
on that level
all right,
because.
now he our rival. I don't know.
Oh, my
You
bad,
ain't
my
come
bad.
on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I
Come
can't be
on, you
giving them
just
too
told me you
much.
had a good time at Harkham. I
Yeah,
don't. I don't need.
hey,
I'm
listen.
messing with you, man. Mike is
I
good
still
people.
bleed
Mike's good.
purple and white, baby. I'm
I,
telling you, I
I'm messing
still
with you.
bleed purple and white.
Mike
I
is good
love me some
people.
Harkham.
Mike
Yes,
is good
man.
people,
Yes,
man.
yes,
So
Mike. Good peoples, man. Um, oh yeah, and then see Coach Wayne here, so I got to shout out PG Community College. You know what I'm saying? He coaches over there. Um, but yeah, so if I had one more question, I guess for JUCO, it would be, do you guys schedule Division Ones, and are they exhibitions or are they games that count? And how does that go? Because I see y'all play a lot of D2s. I've been noticing that now. My buddies down at I think it's called Brian Stratton or something like that.
Yeah, Brian
Um,
Stratton. Yep.
yeah, and I see that they play a lot of Division twos, you know what I'm saying? And I noticed PG Community College played a couple D2s this year. So I just wanted to know, like, what's the highest level that you guys can play, and is it an exhibition, or how does that work? And do you guys like get that check, like how, say, like if Loyola played a South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? You know how they get that big check? Like, does that happen for you guys as well?
No,
No.
no, because
Uh, hey, they both
No.
had it at the same
Yeah, that's
time.
so
You seen
quick.
that?
we love it. We might be able to fly some families out
Yeah.
on them visits now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay.
No, I mean, typically when we're playing against, we have played some D1 opponents. We play them in scrimmages more often than not.
Okay.
But it really, those are times for those programs to see our kids. Like that's a part of the process. Like
Okay.
they get to see our kids. If we go down there, they may get access to the campus. They kind of walk around, see the facilities. It's kind of like a
It's like a mini
little
visit. Hmm.
unofficial. Kind of
Yeah.
you get so we do play them, but they aren't official games. There's no scores report or anything like that. But it's a really important part of the recruiting process for a lot of the kids.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
kind of echo that same here. We had this year we pretty much focused on Division twos, because we actually, with the way our schedule was, we front loaded it with a lot of hard games in the beginning of the year. So in order for us to get ready for that, like we wanted to make sure that we were getting that Division two work, 2 or 3 of those scrimmages. So we did that. Like she kind of said, it's like there's no getting Division one money or anything like that. That would have been great, but
Yeah.
but nah, there's none of that. So we front loaded with Division two scrimmages usually on my end, and then try to get into just like high level, like you look on the men's side, the Dukes and North Carolinas and Michigan States, they go and they try to go through the gauntlet early so that they can
So
get
that they can
ready,
get
and
ready
then
for
on the
months.
backside, hopefully we can be well ready when we need to be in the national championship. So
And Coach Chris, where's your school located?
Paris, Texas.
Oh, you in
Texas.
Texas. Pew.
You know where she at.
Yeah, yeah. You know what we do to Texas on the regular. Don't start that up. Don't start that up. All right. That BTA is automatic. We even come down there and put the BTA, but we're not gonna talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that right now. All
Leave
right.
that
You know what I'm
there.
saying?
Over there.
I love Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I thank y'all for answering my questions, Coach. A lot of these coaches walk around with their chest out, and they act like they don't have time, and I just really, really appreciate it. Because I feel like these parents and people like myself, I'm a trainer, and I feel like I'm an advocate for the girls' game. I push it very, very hard, so it's like I need information like this. You know what I'm saying? I need to be able to follow people like you guys, and just understand that JUCO level, because like you said, everybody's journey is not, the same.
yep,
Just because, you live 3 houses down from a 5-star doesn't mean that you're going to be a
yep,
5-star. You
yep,
understand? And the instant gratification, we got to let that go. If we don't, I feel like the way that the girls' game is growing, it can also decline. Because everybody wants to be somebody else instead of being yourself. And so what that does is you never progress, you never grow. And I love watching the game grow. I've been in it now heavy for like 9, 10 years, and I've seen the flip of just when I first got here, girls weren't even wearing pink. You understand what I'm saying? Now they're wearing pink, that the eyelashes, the lipstick, you know what I'm saying? The game is evolving to what it should be. So it's like, we got to find a way to cut the instant gratification. But, I was always told that things happen for a reason. So I guess it's there for a reason. But thank you guys again. I'm about to get up off here, man. And I follow both of y'all. And like I said, man, if y'all got any parties up Harlem, let me know.
don't do that, man.
Let me know.
I got you, man. I got you. I got you. I got
All
you.
right, fam.
All right. If y'all ain't got nothing
La-
else,
Last thing
you
I'm
got
gonna
something?
say,
Go ahead.
um, And again, like I said, this is my first year, so just trying to give everybody a full scope of kind of why you would even choose Harcum. Um, something that I find very interesting when you guys, not when you guys, excuse me, when players that go to JUCO and or were getting recruited by low majors, mid majors, whatever it might be, something that we kind of can push is that when you come to Harcum, you can go compete for a national championship, and there's not many spots where you can do that. Whether it's low major, usually when you're low major, you're not going to be able to really compete at a high level at the Division One, NCAA tournaments, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Two things that you can definitely do: you're going to come here, you're going to work hard. Number one. Number two, you're going to be able to improve your game and be able to talk and communicate about where you see your game going and see if we can meet kind of halfway. You know, just with the opportunities that you will be getting here versus somewhere else where you might be sitting on the bench for the next 2 years or just not getting the opportunities that you feel you should. And last but not least, like if you are keeping it real with yourself, every one of us who are on this call and or trying to compete at a high level, um, we're competitors first. So when it comes to being able to compete at a high level and compete for a championship, that is definitely something that I know a lot of girls won't be able to do unless they do come to a spot where they're getting the opportunity to show that. So, want to at least, put that little plug out there for any JUCO, really, but, you know, with Harkin specifically, that's something that we've been able to do over the past 4 or 5 years. So it's a good opportunity, I would say. So
Gotcha. Well, appreciate y'all
Thank,
for
time.
sure,
I'm
thank you.
pretty sure everybody enjoyed it. They learned something new from the JUCO space. Very much needed because we're living in a space where JUCO is pretty much, I don't want to say not talked about, but like it's getting the back end of the
for
burner.
sure,
So
for sure.
I think it was very much needed. Some great information, and it was, I mean, like even the APR thing that he was talking about or whatever, like that was real good information that I think a lot of parents need to know. Like, it ain't always cupcakes and roses.
That's right.
So
The business
That's right.
of basketball.
yeah,
It is. It's the business of basketball.
You're right.
yeah. All right. Well,
Look,
appreciate
man,
y'all.
appreciate the opportunity, man. Keep doing your thing. We see you, posting and doing your thing. You're doing a great job for the women's game as well. So we appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for hosting. Have a good night, y'all.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
Happy New Year's.
All right.